Greetings and salutations, exiles. I had a subscriber ask to do a kind of an explanation of how the thrall kind of system works as far as the whole move, guard, and scout. And what's important to know about the move, so if you press the and hold the E key, that is definitely not the. There we go. You'll have over here on the left, you'll have this little arrow in the hand, and this allows you to pick up the thrall and move the thrall. And the way that you have to think about that is it's basically their bedroll. And so like it's they're now bound to that location in the world. And she won't follow me because she is guarding that location, but that is her spawn point. That's the piece to remember. And so if I say follow, now she'll follow me, right? And then if I say scout, then what she'll do is she'll stay in this location, and then after 30 minutes she'll return to her spawn point. And so what I'll see they'll do is they'll wander off in the direction of their spawn point, and they'll travel like 100 or 200 meters, and then they'll just teleport across the map. So kind of to develop that immersion, because you can usually run back. Like, let's say you go do a dungeon and you leave your thrall out front, and usually you'll run out and you'll be like, okay, where did she go? And if you look around a little bit, you'll see her like walking in the cliff face. She'll just be like walking in the cliff face, trying to path her way back, and then she'll do is she'll just teleport back. And that's the big thing to remember. So when you're fighting or you're like come across a thrall that you want, it's important not to do the move and guard, because what'll happen is you'll get your thrall and you'll be so caught up in the fight, you'll forget that you bound your thrall there, and then you're running back because you have that timer on that on that rope, and you're running back, and then you get back and you're like, oh shit, my thrall's across the map, and she's not going to teleport back to your base because you've basically snapped her to that location in the world, and that's her new home. So you have to run all the way back and get her. So it's super important. Once you have her where you want her, you always use the follow and the stop follow command. So there's now here are like two types of pro tricks. One is when you have your scout and she says scouting. Let's say you're in a dungeon and you've died, right? And so when you die, your thrall defaults into scout mode. And so after 30 minutes, she'll teleport back to your base or wherever you have her bound to, guard parentheses, and she'll teleport back. So so what she'll do is there's a kind of a way to expedite this or force this to happen is let's say you die and you go back to your base and you grab another thrall. Okay, so you have the other thrall, you'll get this message right here, right? You'll get this message and you say, follow me. And you get that too many thralls following you. So what that does is now this thrall will follow you, and he's the one that's assisting you, right? And so that frees that other thrall up to teleport back quicker. And I believe it falls into a 15-minute default, but I'm not 100% positive on that. If anybody has any information or any more insight on the time that it takes for thralls to teleport back. But now she's definitely, and if I come up on her, I can still access the inventory. She's still mine. It's just she's in scout mode. So she's no longer in use. But here's a piece to this. There's a way to kind of use this to your advantage though, because you can pull, right? So now I have two thralls here. They're still my thralls, and let's do a third one, right? Let me bind him over here, okay? And there's a way to kind of manipulate this. This is like pro tip, right? So I tell him to follow me, and so let's say you go into a dungeon, like right here, you can't bind any thralls, but what you can do is come and follow me. What you can do is you can just say stop following, and he's in scout mode. And then after 30 minutes, he'll teleport back. But you can pull them into an area where you might need some help with a boss. Let's say you pull a couple of thralls into an area where you got a big, like you want to fight a dragon, parentheses, okay? And you just say stop following. Okay, so now they're all on scout mode and they're all going to go back in 30 minutes. So let's say we go to admin panel, right? And we're just going to spawn let's just do a I don't know, something armor, blacksmith, cook, entertainer, fighter, right? We're just going to do it. Okay, and then immediately they all interact with, man, the aggro on Timos is great. Like, this guy didn't even help. Well, that's the same Timos. Okay, I don't know, but they'll all interact in that process, and then they'll all teleport back to their original bind spot. When I say guard, really I'm saying bind spot. And of course they'll guard your base or whatever, but that's their teleport back to. So if the server resets, that's where they're going to show up. So I think that covers everything as far as the menu and kind of how they work as far as interaction. I'm just going to touch quickly. If you just do a quick tap on E, you get into the inventory. Most people pretty much know that because you can custom load whatever armor set you want. Like, I can put a shield on this guy on his offhand, and then I can put, in a main hand. And this is a way that you can get their damage up. So now if I just summon a guy, admin panel, right, spawn, fighter, okay, level, black hand, okay. You can see, he defaulted. Now, a warning is if when they're in combat and you're like, oh, he didn't equip the right weapon, I forgot to take the spear off of him, and you pull the spear while he's in combat, you'll bug out that thrall, and he will not fight for you anymore until the server resets and it clears his script, because they run like an AI script. And I've bugged out thralls like, oh, he's got the wrong weapon. He's still got the truncheon, and he's in combat. And I pull the truncheon off of him and drop the spear on him, and he'll go like he'll do the posture, but he will not attack for anything. So if your thrall's not attacking, it's because they're bugged, and you've bugged them by swapping out weapons while they're in combat. It's okay to swap it while they're out of combat, but that's where you get into trouble. So let's do this again. And then admin panel, right? Let's go fighter. Okay, boom, and you'll see he'll have the right weapon this time. See how he's got the right weapon? And as long as maybe I bugged him out. Who knows? He should have absolutely fought that time. But she basically like spawn. We're actually gonna go a 4 this time. Because he like stood there retarded, and okay. So he's bugged. He's bugged. That's how you tell if they're bugged. And sometimes you can fix it by, there's 2 different. Okay, that's I didn't realize. Okay, so watch. Let's see if he fights this time. Because sometimes, as a rule of thumb, when you get a thrall and they spawn with their default weapon, they'll always perform better with a similar type of weapon. And so, like, I always run 2-handed weapons with Sumerian Berserkers. If they come with a shield, I try to keep them with a shield. I just noticed that their AI script performs better and they're less buggy. So admin panel, spawn. Let's see if he fights this time. Fighter. Okay, and I know this is kind of this is a little bit more in depth than I. Oh, she's big. Okay. Is he gonna fight? So he's bugged. He's bugged. So let's see if, and that's a perfect example. Maybe I inadvertently got into the menu when I shouldn't, or maybe it was the shield that bugged him out. And let's see if this guy will fight. And this is important because you can, and the sad thing is you have to wait for the server to reset to get them to where they're helping you again. See, he went back to so he liked the spear, but he won't take the shield and the sword. Like he won't support that. Now, if I take a let's just say I go a regular fighter. And I know this is kind of evolving from the menu, but it's one of the reasons. And let me get into the menu, and I take his weapon and the shield back, right? And then so he came with a one-handed weapon. So watch, I'll bet you he works as intended. He'll probably that was super weird. You see how they all reacted like the scripts? Okay. Admin panel. Okay, and we're just gonna go boss this time because I need something with a little bit more hit points. Okay. I don't want to go nothing too crazy. What is this? Okay. Man, for whatever reason, they he does not. Come on. So this is how you usually bug him out. Okay. He is not wanting to. He is not wanting to. And so it is touchy. Let's do this again. Admin panel. I took off the sword. Spawn. Boss. Right. Okay. Okay. So now he'll fight because he spawned with a one-handed weapon. I replaced it with a one-handed weapon. He's behaving as normal. So as a rule of thumb, if you want a thrall to perform really well with a certain skill set or a certain weapon set, try to tame the ones that already have their weapons equipped. Like, so try to find like a relic hunter that has a shield, for example. He'll spawn with the shield. Like when you tame him, he'll have the shield on him, and you won't have any issues with the AI script when it comes to. Now, this isn't the 100% rule all the time, but it's a kind of a guarantee way to make sure it works because you'll run into issues. Um, like I can't get a shield to work on a Sumerian Berserker at all. It's just not going to happen. But and same thing with a Truncheon. I can't get a one-handed weapon to work that well either on a Sumerian Berserker. So next time you have a Thrall, think about what weapon you're going to use, and I hope that this video basically turned into a two-parter. It turned into the follow guard and scout, and it also followed it into the how weapons and combat system plays out with the thralls. They're very temperamental on the AI, and it's really easy to bug out the script, especially if you remove the weapon while they're in combat. That is a definite no. All right, as always, be critical of my content. Criticism is always welcome. Thank you for watching.